Finally, for the first time in what seems like an eternity, as a matter of fact, over 365 days since we have sat right here in the studio in Weedsport, New York for the Weedsport productions of Off Track TV Live. It is my pleasure to once again say hello to everybody out there, as I'm the voice, Shane Andrews, and joining me, Dan Kapuscinski. Dan, we are back.
I know, it's finally starting to feel a little sense of normalcy here, Shane, coming back into the studio, having a chance, keeping our 6 feet, of course.
Absolutely.
But looking forward to talking racing again here finally on Off Track TV. It's great to have everybody tuned in as we start to look forward to a 2021 racing season.
Yeah, and it's right around the corner. Literally, it's already started in some spots, and we'll talk about that. And, of course, we always ask for fan interaction. We want you folks out there that are watching and listening to give us a shout-out. If you have a question, something you want us to talk about, or you want to have something answered, let us know. Info at weedsportproductions.com. You can give me a shout on Twitter at NYVoice13. Dan, your Twitter handle?
At Dan_Kapuscinski.
You want to spell that?
No.
Okay, we'll put that up on the screen.
It's right there.
There it is. Or give us a shout on Facebook. Either way, we're going to, any of those ways, we're going to answer your questions and talk about what you want to hear about. Dan, it's been, like I said, a year since our last show. And first and foremost, a couple of things. Congratulations to you and Liz on the birth of your daughter, Marin. Michael now has a little sister.
That's right. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate it. Yeah, Marin's perfectly healthy, giving us some sleep at night, which I can say Liz and I are both very pleased with. So it's great to have number 2 in the household, Michael's being an excellent big brother. So.
Well, we now know what you guys were doing during the quarantine.
Right,
so
yeah.
That's good you were staying busy.
Exactly.
Yes. And also, while we're on the band of congratulations, you got a new ride for Oswego this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, going to go back and do the pavement thing again. We're going to run a small block super modified at Oswego every Saturday this coming year with Steve Flack and Mike O'Connor and that group. So looking forward to that, and going to try to finally get a checkered flag in that class at Oswego Speedway. I've been chasing it for a long time, and I think this year's finally going to be the year.
Well, best of luck for that. And, of course, we'll be looking for the updates right here on every off-track TV live show that we do throughout the season. The first of many that we have on the dock, and, of course, coming to you for the first time, like I said, since the pandemic started, where we're together. And, Dan, one of the waves of racing that took place this year that, even though we didn't get to see a lot of it here in Central New York on the big tracks, was iRacing. The virtual racing really seemed to take off.
Yeah, it took off quite a bit, and actually it's sort of carried over. You've seen a lot of leagues come on, more races even televised, and lots happening in that iRacing department. Shane, you actually took some laps today, I understand, on the new Bristol release that they had.
That's right. I jumped on and took the big block modified out on the high banks of Bristol on the dirt, and what a rush. And listen, it's not going to compare to anything that you can do live. I've never driven a race car. I don't try to be a race car driver. I do it for fun, but I've had race car drivers come up to me and say, hey, how you like it? And I said, well, it's great and it's entertaining, but I'll never be able to do it out on the real racetrack.
Right. Well, the iRacing thing, I didn't quite get into it because I would not get off. I would just stay on it nonstop. So for the sanity of my family, I've kind of kept that packed away.
Well, if there's anything I've learned, I'm a better announcer than I am an iRacer or a racer for any fact. And speaking of racing, Florida kicked off here just a couple of weeks ago.
Right. And Shane, you were down there, got to enjoy some fun in the sun, kind of envious of that, but quite a few big block modifieds down there, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it here in the next segment.
Absolutely. As the Dirt Car Nationals, the 50th edition, took place down at the Volusia Speedway Park. When we return here to Off Track TV Live, we're going to delve into the action that took place on the world's fastest half mile down there in Barberville, Florida. Stick around.
Weedsport Speedway is home of the fastest cars and biggest stars. With over $1 million in recent upgrades, our fans know this is the premier race destination in the Northeast. The fan experience is at the forefront of everything we do. LED light shows, luxury suites, premium stadium seating, and a 27-foot HD video display to engage and entertain fans. And by the way, our fans, our fans kick ass. They are committed and loyal. They bring their families to races. They consistently engage with us over social media, on our website, and tune into our incredible productions airing on national TV and streaming online. This year features an exciting season of events. It's a blast to go fast. Want to talk to a growing audience and next-generation fans? Customized sponsorship opportunities make it super easy. We have event sponsorships, product sponsorships, digital billboards, web, social, digital ads, race day displays and signage, booths and promotions. Video opportunities both in venue, on national TV, and streaming online. The drivers, the excitement, the speed. The Port Burgers are why fans show up. At Weedsport Speedway, our venue and production are the reason they keep coming back. Be a part of the best season yet.
Weedsport Productions is the live video production company that you need at your next event. Our mobile production truck is outfitted with the most advanced broadcast equipment in the industry. Weedsport Productions covers racing, live sporting events, corporate events, and concerts. We can broadcast your event live, stream it to the internet, or produce an exciting in-venue experience for your audience. Visit weedsportproductions.com now to learn more.
Welcome back to Off Track TV Live here, coming to you from the Weedsport Speedway in Weedsport Productions studio. Dan, watching those promo videos for the Weedsport Speedway, we've seen them in the past, and I get excited about racing season. But with what we lost in 2020, watching those promotional videos, I got goosebumps.
I know it's right around the corner. Finally, now we get to get ready for it. See the schedule here shortly, and talk about some racing.
Well, the big block modifieds that are featured here at the Weedsport Speedway did kick off their season down at the Volusia Speedway Park. It was the 50th edition of the Dirt Car Nationals.
That's right, Shane. Night number 1 on screen now. The boss man, Jimmy Phelps, started this one from pole position. Stuart Friesen on the outside. This was the first of what should have been 5 consecutive nights of racing for the Super DIRTcar Series Modifieds down in Barberville, Florida. And Jimmy and Stewie going side by side here early on, but it would be Friesen who would get the advantage early on here on the outside of the racetrack. And of course, Friesen would go on to a very busy week down in Florida. He was dirt late model racing, modified racing, and of course, taking on Daytona in his Camping World Truck Series truck, Shane.
You know, when we see the big block modifieds at Volusia, some guys are quick right out of the box, but some teams are also doing a little bit of testing, some R&D that they haven't had a chance to do.
That's right. It's an opportunity to shake some things out. Of course, these races are not point events for the Super Dirt Series. Obviously, very healthy purses and races that everybody wants to win, but it's a good time to get things started and get shaped up for the rest of the season. Is to see one of those drivers doing just that, Pete Burton in that 21A.
Yeah, he wrecked a car bad down in Florida in a different event and brought this one out and ran very good. He was fast all week long, but this night belonged to Stewie.
That's right. Parker gets to go up on the roof. Stuart Friesen, his first Super Dirt Series win of 2021.
Look at this shot. The drone chasing after the starting field for the night number 2 30-lap feature event as Matt Williamson in car number 88. I guess we could still call him the defending series champion, as
That's
in
right.
2020 there were no series races other than one and Oktoberfest, but they were non-point races.
The longest reign in series history for Matt Williamson.
Out of St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, and that Buzz Shoe 88, he'll lead the way until Max McLaughlin, slider gone wrong there, little contact, that allows the 25 of Eric Rudolph to sneak by. And Rudolph, always one of those guys, doesn't say a lot, but when he does, he speaks volumes in his race car.
He surfaces, there's no doubt about it. He's always run well down here at Volusia as well, trying to chase down McLaughlin in that 32. Of course, we saw Mad Max get his first career Super DIRTcar Series win right here at Weedsport Speedway last October during Oktoberfest, but a stout field up front here in this one, Shane.
With 12 to go, Stuart Friesen, the winner on opening night, starting to make his presence known as he takes the 2 spot away from the 32 of McLaughlin and sets his sights on the race leader of the 25 of Eric Rudolph. With 10 laps to go as they come down to the line, Friesen swings it to the top shelf, and he is able to drive around the 25 of Rudolph, and he would go on to win his second race in a row. It's not warm, it's not cold, it's freezing in Florida as Parker gets to do another roof dance.
Friesen looking really good right there, rolling through the middle of the racetrack. Not even all the way to the outside. He could cut it right through the middle. Back here for night number 3. The Stangl number 6 car started on pole position, but just behind, Max McLaughlin tried to shoot to the inside of Matt Shepard. Most of us know where this led to if we've been on the internet a time or two here in the past month or so, as Matt Shepard, Peter Britton getting closed up there, Shane, and they had a meeting of the minds, I guess you could say.
Not only a meeting of the minds, but they also had a post-race altercation as well. But, you know, cooler heads will prevail. These guys will race together again soon here, and I'm sure we'll see different outcomes.
Well, they're competitors, and that's what these guys do for a living.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and in the heat of the battle, when there's money on the line like this and you haven't raced since last year, you know, things have a tendency to take a different turn. But nonetheless, hey, it's a part of the sport and it always has been.
Right. You move on and you're going to race against each other the very next night. So you
That's
get
right.
it in and get it out of the way. So we get back to the racing action, though. Matt Williamson again on the outside in that 88 machine. It's Jimmy Phelps on the bottom. Started up front once again, trying to roll the inside here out of turn 4. But Williamson again in that Buzz Chew machine. Too tough on the outside of the racetrack.
And a nice move by the number 32 of Max McLaughlin, working to the inside of the Billy Decker number 91. You talk about a guy that has a handle on things right now. Billy Decker was fast each and every night in that LJL Racing number 91 machine.
Well, and again, it comes back to experience at racetracks as well. Billy's been coming down to Volusia County for a long, long time in that 91 machine and putting it to good use. But again, very impressive to see the run that Max McLaughlin is able to put on the bottom side of the racetrack in that 32C machine as he finally gets a chance to close in on Matt Williamson here on a restart later in the event.
That's right, and Mad Max would use it to his advantage. You can see him bobble just a little bit there, and the 91 of Decker season opening on the top side. They would chase after that 88 of Matt Williamson, but in the end, this one would really become the Billy Decker and Max McLaughlin show, as this is where Max McLaughlin able to take over position number 1.
That's right. Again, a nice move to the inside. You look a few cars back there. Mike Maresca coming into the picture as well. The Maresca 7 machine has been running very good at pretty much every racetrack that car has been at lately, too. Another driver that's keeping himself very busy. As we come down to the checkered flag, Max McLaughlin crosses the stripe in a torrid battle with Billy Decker to get his second career Super DIRTcar Series Modified win.
Driving a car that Matt Shepard built.
That's right.
Night number 4. This would end up being the final night because Mother Nature would come in and tinkle on our parade on night number 5. But on this night, Mike Maresca in that number 7 machine. Talk about a driver that has really come into his own. He won the Outlaw 200 a couple years ago for $20,000. He's won some big events, and he was looking for his first win at the Volusia Speedway Park.
Well, sometimes all you have to do is kind of get over that hump. You get that first big win under your belt, and things just kind of seem to snowball from there as we see Ryan go down in that number 30 machine rolling the inside of the racetrack under Billy Decker.
Yeah, the Eugene Mills Blue Hen Racing sponsor, number 30. Matt Shepard, he was quick all week long on night number 3. He came back up to finish in the top 5. Here on night number 4, looking for the lead around Mike Maresca. And you know you have a good race car when you can hold off a 7-time series champion in the form of Matt Shepard.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And you could see kind of the inside of the racetrack was already starting to shape up to a point where I think we knew where it was going to head later on in this one. And this really is the race for the win right here with 25 laps to go. Maresca knowing he needs to hold off Matt Shepard before the inside of this track gets too locked down.
When you have had as much success as Matt Shepard has on the racetrack, and you're racing against somebody, I think it brings out the best of everybody around him. They bring it up a notch to try and keep him behind him.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Maresca brought out everything he had in this one to get this checkered flag down here at Volusia. His first win in Florida in that 7 Double M machine. A great way, as it turned out, to cap off the week. As you said, Shane, the 5th and final night lost to weather.
Well, we saw Stuart Friesen win 2 of them. We saw Mad Max win 1. We see the 7 of Mike Maresca win 1. Overall, Max McLaughlin gets the Gator for 2021, winning the Dirt Car Nationals Points Championship.
Consistency is key, and he was up front every week.
Talking about consistency, there was a guy that was up front each and every night at the Volusia Speedway Park with his familiar number 98H. He is also the promoter of the Weedsport Speedway. When we come back, Jimmy Phelps will join us right here on set. Don't go any places. We'll be right back with more Off Track TV Live.
Weedsport Productions is the live video production company that you need at your next event. Our mobile production truck is outfitted with the most advanced broadcast equipment in the industry. Weedsport Productions covers racing, live sporting events, corporate events, and concerts. We can broadcast your event live, stream it to the internet, or produce an exciting in-venue experience for your audience. Visit weedsportproductions.com now to learn more.
Every race live. The greatest shows on dirt from coast to coast, and now worldwide for only $39 a month. Watch the World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drinks Sprint Cars, the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Models, and the Dirt Car Summer Nationals Hell Tour with one Fast Pass for only $39. Now, catch the greatest racing action down under with sprint cars, late models, and midgets from iconic Australian venues all year long. Live. Hundreds of races. One Fast Pass. $39 a month. DirtVision.com. Subscribe today.
Well, Dan, now we have to behave. The boss is in the house. Driver of the HBR Racing J&B Installations number 98H, but also the general manager here at the Weedsport Speedway and promoter of the Weedsport Speedway, Jimmy Phelps. Jimmy, welcome back. I think you've, if I had to go back through the catalog of guests that we've had here on Off Track TV Live, I think you're a five-time returning veteran.
Do I get a jacket?
Yeah.
SNL. Yeah. No, it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys. It means we're getting close to race season and starting to get some excitement building, and that's really after last year what we really need, and just happy to get going.
Big season coming up here at the port. Some big events on the calendar as always.
Yeah, the staple stuff's coming back. Obviously we're going to kick off with the Heroes Remembered again and Memorial Day weekend. A little bit of a change, obviously going to Sunday. Hopefully we can, take advantage of the Monday off, give everybody a good night to have some fun and still get some rest the next day. So yeah, 4 Super Dirt Series events, which, we're pretty proud of, excited. That's kind of the big block modified series, obviously is a staple here. And to be able to bring them in again for a fourth time is, something we're real excited about.
Give us a little bit of a look from the behind-the-scenes perspective. It's probably been a bit of a challenging offseason, not necessarily knowing where the trajectory of things were going. What was it like from the promoter standpoint, trying to just get a schedule together to begin with?
Well, it's very difficult. We're fortunate that, about 4 or 5 years in now to some of these shows that we've been doing that are kind of, routine and have become staple events. So, you know what you want to do, when you want to do it, and the timeline kind of, fits. And the biggest problem, obviously is just planning. There's a lot that goes into getting ready for each event. When you start talking about advertising and budgets and, trying to, talk to sponsors and rekindle those relationships that obviously last year kind of sat idle. It's a tough conversation right now. Things are starting to move forward at a little bit faster speed as far as reopening goes, but there's still really no, hard legislation out there yet that's going to tell us what we can do. So we kind of collectively decided we're full speed ahead, you know what I mean? And we're going to prepare for, probably got a little later start on things without the car shows and without the things that we normally are getting ready to do about now.
Sure.
But at this point, March 1st, we really decided it's we're full speed ahead. If we got to back up for some unforeseen reason, we'll have the time to do that. But, as of right now, it looks like the way things are moving, we're going to be fine.
And a new sponsor, a returning sponsor, we should say, Champion Oil, distributed by Sterling Lubricants, signing back on again for some big events in 2021.
Yeah, we're fortunate. Obviously, Sterling Lubricants, Champion Oil, obviously a big partner here at Weedsport Speedway. There's a handful of others that, we're still, waiting for some word and trying to get some things finished up. But we're real fortunate that, for the most part, most of the partners that we had moving out of 2019 were still, able to stick with us and kind of get that brewing again. So, that's a challenge. I mean, you're talking about people that, you're talking about companies and everybody that's faced their own adversities, and it's a challenge for all of us. It's a challenge for the racers. You talk about all these race cars don't, fund themselves. You need the partners, you need the sponsors, you need the, at every level. And, just the economics of it all, faced a real hurdle. So it's going to be interesting to see how we all rebound.
When we look at the front half of the schedule, a little bit of a change from previous years in the sense that the Sportsman Classic will not be on that 4th of July. It's actually going to move to the middle of June. And then the ESS Sprint Cars are actually going to headline the July 4th program this year.
Yeah, obviously, there's been some changes with the Sportsman Classic year to year. 4th of July in the past has worked for the Sportsman Classic depending on where the 4th fell.
Right.
ESS Speed Weeks the last couple of years had kind of taken precedence from Wednesday on. This year we're actually fortunate enough to finally become a part of that with some changes on the Sunday night racetracks, and so we're excited. We'll be hosting the series finale for the ESS Speed Weeks, ESS Sprint Car Tour. We're gonna have big blocks here as well, so that's gonna be a good finale and a good way to send off the 4th of July weekend, big fireworks show and everything that we love to do here on that holiday at Weedsport. And Sportsman Classic, I think in 2019 we had packaged it in to another event, and it really deserves its own headline. These guys come out, they put on a great show for us. The Sportsmen have always been a major part of our season, and it's kind of like it's become a marquee event for them. So to bring them in, let them headline, the big blocks will still be here, and it's just a win-win for everybody. And we got a lot to look forward to on that front. There'll be some announcements on some specials, some stuff that we're going to do with that, try to make it special.
Perfect.
And a couple of other items of note. The Cavalcade weekend, September 11th and 12th. We're going to have that full weekend of racing. NOS Energy Drinks, World of Outlaw Sprint Cars returning this year. And, of course, the Hall of Fame 100 with the Hall of Fame induction. And this year, some new stuff. The Super Dirt Series races, they'll be broadcast live on Dirt Vision. And then streaming here at the big track for all the Weedsport events. And that includes everything going on over at the Cartway, the short port.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Weedsport Productions is really working hard on trying to get the details in line and get everybody updated on what we're going to be doing. But it looks like we will be able to, the fans will be able to watch, not only the big track events that aren't being aired on Dirt Vision, but also the Cartway events, on a live stream right out of, like I said, right out of Weedsport Productions. So it's just, I think if the one thing COVID did do, it appears that it opened up the fan base. It made a lot of people realize that, this is a viable way to watch the races. Whether you can't be here for a certain reason, or maybe you became a dirt fan or a dirt race fan or a kart fan or whatever from 5-6 hours away, and a Sunday night just isn't, viable for a 5-hour ride. So there's definitely a market there that we want to try to satisfy, and I know these guys are going to do a real good job doing it.
We touch on the go-kart track quickly as well. Obviously, we're sticking with our Sunday staple events, but also a 3 Thursday night special is going to be worked into the program this year as well.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I just think it was time for, to mix it up a little bit. We'd heard some feedback over the course of the, few seasons that we did do that, this place would be great at night. It'd be nice to have some night racing and get under the lights and, what the heck, it's time to try it. It's time to, maybe bring a little bit different program those 3 nights, make it fun and, a little bit different format that I'm excited to see how it works out.
What are the plans this year for Jimmy Phelps and the 98H team? And before we get into that, congratulations, Oktoberfest. 2 big wins sweeping the Fulton Speedway.
Yeah, that was a great night. Thank you. We didn't get to do a ton of racing, you know what I mean? And when they put that deal on the schedule, it was, it was just an outstanding effort by World Racing Group and everybody, all the tracks and the promoters and the organizations and everybody to at least allow us a platform to do something. And it turned out to be a great week. And Fulton was definitely the highlight for us. I mean, to come into our home track and, really just have a perfect night. It was pretty outstanding.
It felt as close as the Fulton 200 as it could feel, I guess.
It did.
Even only being,
did.
I think, 60 laps, but it had that feel to it.
Well, I think, considering, all that went on throughout the course of the year.
Absolutely.
I was pretty happy to leave there that night. You can say that.
Good.
Bristol's coming up. Of course, Super Dirt Series, a lot of big races, but got to ask about Bristol. Going down there to the Coliseum, if you will.
Yeah.
What's the anticipation and the excitement from the HBR team like for that?
Well, we're excited. We're all excited. How could you not be? You look at that opportunity. You watch the Asphalt Modified go there, and years ago you watched video of the sprint car guys going there, and you're like, wow, what an unbelievable opportunity. Win, lose, or draw. You're going to one of the greatest racing venues on the planet, and to have the opportunity now, it was something I never thought I'd get to see. I didn't even know that I'd ever get to see the place to begin with. We're racing, and, to try to get to a cup race is very difficult. So it's going to be cool just to be there. It'll be even better to race there, and it'll be great to run well, and that's what we're hoping to do.
Have you been lifting your weights to get
I
ready?
need to start lifting my weights.
Don't
COVID wasn't nice to me.
Don't forget to get on iRacing, the Bristol Dirt.
Yes. Yes, I heard that today. We talked a little bit before, and I'm excited to get on the dirt. I asked Shane before we got on the air if he felt all the G-forces I'm hearing about.
No, not at all. Not at all. Super Dirt Series again this year for the 98H.
Yeah. So we'll be hitting the entire tour. Looking forward to. We got some good things rolling. I think at the end of last year we got some momentum built up. Florida was kind of a typical Florida for us. We struggled in different aspects of the night. We qualified well, but we didn't light the world on fire when the track started to slick off. It just seemed like we were just too overstuck in the rear of the car, and I was having a real hard time turning all week, and just things you fight at Florida that you don't fight anywhere else. But looking forward to the tour, looking forward to getting back to Burton. That was good news. We're excited about that. Saturdays we're just gonna, if a show pops up that makes sense, probably do it. But you'll see the JMB Installations 98, Mohawk, Northeast Bicknell. We'll definitely should be at Friday nights at Burton every week, and then the tour.
I know what he's doing Saturdays. He's going to come crew on the Danny Kaye.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe we could get him out on the course with the voice one night too.
Well, it's funny. I lived half an hour from there, and it would probably be the third asphalt race I saw there. So, but I do look forward to getting up and seeing Danny race this year. Hopefully more than once. So we'll
Notice he asked
see.
you to help him crew. He didn't ask me.
Well.
Hey Shane,
comment.
Can you clean my? Hold on. Oh, that's right. Do you use tear offs?
Yes.
Okay. Can you put some tear? See, I can't even put them on the helmet. Why would you want me there?
There you go.
Jim, thanks for joining us as always. Thanks for having Dan and I allowing us to do this here at the Weedsport Speedway. Looking forward to another great season here in 21.
Yes, thank you guys. Great job as always. Enjoy watching it, and let's just hope we get things off on the right foot early on here, and snow's melting, so it's good.
There you go.
When we return here to Off Track TV Live, we're going to take your questions in our final segment. So send them in. We've already got a couple, but we'll take a couple more. More when we return.
Weedsport Speedway is home of the fastest cars and biggest stars. With over $1 million in recent upgrades, our fans know this is the premier race destination in the Northeast. The fan experience is at the forefront of everything we do. LED light shows, luxury suites, premium stadium seating, and a 27-foot HD video display to engage and entertain fans. And by the way, our fans? Yeah, our fans kick ass. They are committed and loyal. They bring their families to races. They consistently engage with us over social media, on our website, and tune into our incredible productions airing on national TV and streaming online. This year features an exciting season of events. It's a blast to go fast. Want to talk to a growing audience and next-generation fans? Customized sponsorship opportunities make it super easy. We have event sponsorships, product sponsorships, digital billboards, web, social, digital ads, race day displays and signage, booths and promotions. Video opportunities both in venue, on national TV, and streaming online. The drivers, the excitement, the speed. The pork burgers are why fans show up. At Weedsport Speedway, our venue and production are the reason they keep coming back. Be a part of the best season yet.
Weedsport Productions is the live video production company that you need at your next event. Our mobile production truck is outfitted with the most advanced broadcast equipment in the industry. Weedsport Productions covers racing, live sporting events, corporate events, and concerts. We can broadcast your event live, stream it to the internet, or produce an exciting in-venue experience for your audience. Visit weedsportproductions.com now to learn more.
Welcome back to our season opener of season number 4 of Off Track TV Live. Shane Andrews, Dan Kapuscinski, and Jimmy Phelps has been gracious enough to stick around for our final segment with us, as this is where we take some questions. And Lance Weidman sent in a question, and Jim wanted to keep you here to address this one. Lance wants to know, are we going to see fans in the stands this year here at Weedsport?
It's our intention. Obviously we're expecting some legislation and some input from, the powers to be coming down here real soon. And I'm sure that's going to continue to change, as we get closer to spring, but closer to summer. But like I said, earlier in the segment, when we planned to move forward, that was really 100% with fans, or we wouldn't be even thinking about it.
A couple of more questions here. Rob Bob 21 wants to know right out of the gate, who will be the 2021 Super Dirt Series champion?
If you're going to come my direction, I'll go for, Jimmy's still here, so it's going to be Jimmy Phelps or Matt Williamson. When I'm going to see either Williamson's going to back it up or Jimmy's going to get it done, one or the other.
How about you, Jim? From the driver's perspective,
I got to vote for myself. But I'll tell you, this deal's it's not getting any easier. I mean, there's some really, really good veterans, and these kids are getting faster and faster, and you still got to bet on yourself.
There you go.
Absolutely. Well, if I had to go out on a limb, I'm going to give you a couple of drivers. I don't think you can count out Matt Williamson as the longest reigning champion right now. I don't think you can count out Jimmy Phelps. I don't think you can count out Matt Shepard to get back into the mix. And I wouldn't even count out a guy like Peter Burton, who was fast out of the box down in Florida. So those are 4 names that I'm just going to throw out in the mix right now.
It's impressive when you actually start to think in your head the amount of guys that really could get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, there really is at least a
Absolutely.
half a dozen guys that you wouldn't feel too bad about saying could win that championship.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, the guys are, the equipment's, everybody's equipment's really good, and this coil thing changed the game. We've talked about that over the course of the last couple of years, and there's just a lot of guys that are just, when it's their night, and they build some consistency, and then they're threats every night. So it's just making it harder and harder.
Final question, and we'll answer before we leave tonight, is what can we expect to see from the big blocks at Bristol? And we'll start with Jim on this one.
I don't know. It's funny. We've been racking our brains, from a car standpoint, what we got to bring with us and all that other. And I kind of decided we really need to see a race there. We need to see the late models in a couple weeks, and then kind of form our opinions from it. But it's going to be fast. There's no question. There's no question it's going to be fast. It's going to be, I think your equipment's going to need to be good, or it's not going to survive. That's one thing you're going to see. But other than that, I mean, nothing would surprise me.
I was going to say, I think the only thing you can expect is to see something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, I mean, who knows? We're all guessing is exactly what it's going to be, but it's going to be a first, no matter what it is.
When you look at Bristol Motor Speedway, the high banks are the first things that you think of in the speed, and it comes to mind 2 other dirt tracks that the big blocks have been on, Eldora Speedway and also Lebanon Valley Speedway. I know all the race teams to keep very good notes, but this is a track that is like anything that we've never seen before to put a dirt modified on. It's like you said, I think to expect the unexpected.
100%. I think, and again, it's going to change. I mean, our opinions are going to change probably leading up to that point. We're going to watch late models race, and the track's going to do one thing, and you're going to get feedback from them guys, and then obviously we'll all watch the Cup race, and that's going to be a completely different animal.
Yeah.
And I believe the late models are there again. I'll tell you, I've never looked forward to tuning in to a race that we weren't at as much as I do this next
Right.
month at Bristol. So we're gonna at least enjoy some racing.
Well, Jim, like you said, you're excited to get there. You thought you'd never be able to get there as a driver. I never thought I'd be able to get there as an announcer
Yeah, it's
because I get to
outstanding.
do the show. I'm stoked. I can't wait.
Yeah, me either.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time as always. Well, race fans, we've got to say goodnight for night number 1 of season 4 here for Off Track TV Live. Our next show is on tax day, so pay your taxes and tune in on April 15th. That is the next time that we will be back on the air with Off Track TV Live. For everybody with Weedsport Productions, Brett Moses, Dan Kapuscinski, Jim Phelps, thanks very much for joining us. My name is The Voice, Shane Andrews, saying thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the races.